Alright, the masked analyst guy did a video on the DMCA and the fact that he's getting harassed with emails. Threatened, he calls it. And, you know, if that's a threat, then, phew, yeah, I get that every day. And then he points out a Soup X video on the DMCA and the problems with it. So I thought I would extend my opinion on the subject, because I'm sure we diverge on some issues. I agree with, in principle, that nobody should file a false DMCA. It really shouldn't be possible. I mean, it's supposed to be part of the law that if you're going to make the claim, you're going to go to court if the person counterfiles. And the way the system is now, there's no consequence. If you don't go to court, there's no consequence. The video just goes back up. The end. And it's just bullshit. Theoretically, I think there's lots of ways they can fix this thing pretty easily. And they really should streamline the process. ISPs, or the people providing the playground that we play on, really have to take some responsibility for what kind of shit goes on in that playground, because they're just creating the environment. And the very idea that people can hide emails and do all the other stuff that the internet has been allowing for since its inception is just bullshit anyway. I mean, people should not have any capacity to be anonymous, and not when it comes to the fact that they shit on somebody or make some other mess, play some terrorist game. They should be accountable for it, and there should be some, you know, the accountability shouldn't require somebody to invest $10,000 to make them accountable. That's just complete bullshit. Alright, so anyway, so part of this problem is created by you assholes who think you need absolute freedom. Because it's bullshit. You just can't do that. This doesn't work in the practical universe, and it's never really existed previously. There was always accountability. You always couldn't go past a certain fucking line. And so it's idiotic to think the internet should be different, because human beings have to interact with each other. And I think these people who talk about free speech, well, really you're the enemies of free speech, in my opinion, if you're going to advocate that anonymous mudslingers and terrorists can basically do whatever the fuck they want. So I think you're discouraging more people from talking and speaking than you are encouraging them. I mean, use my own case as the example. I mean, you say something outside the normative language on a subject, and all of a sudden you're dressed up as Adolf Hitler. I mean, it's bullshit. And every rational person knows it's bullshit. It's not a fair argument. It's not a competition of ideas or any of that other shit. It's just giving the cheap and malicious and the assholes the power. It's letting them control other people's message, what they're doing on YouTube, and it's just crap. And it scares the shit out of some people. It even goes to that point. And why should anybody be vulnerable to the idea that somebody can get away with it pretty much scot-free, publishing name and address and phone number all over the internet and the rest of it? It shouldn't be licensed for this crap, and there basically is, because unless you're willing to spend a preposterous amount of money, you can't do a motherfucking thing about it. All right, so anyway, back to the DMCA. Like the simple solutions, you know, I think YouTube should be, you know, ISPs, or the service provider, whatever you want to call them, they should be responsible for a mechanism. And yeah, so instead of the documents being handed to the person claiming the DMCA, YouTube should just oblige a person who's going to file a DMCA. Well, then YouTube will hold the $350 that it costs to file a lawsuit. So you have to create an account with YouTube. They'll hold your money and they'll file your lawsuit. It isn't very complicated, and so, you know, it's sort of a standard thing. And so they can initiate the lawsuit in the appropriate court, and then once it's initiated, once you've paid your money, well, then you follow up on it by getting a lawyer to pursue the case, or the case is pursued. But once it's filed, then you're notified of the individual's name. And that way, at least there's some assurance that people are going to follow up on these stupid DMCAs, because that's really their obligation. If they don't follow up on it, it breaks the whole system, because then exactly what you say can happen. People can just terrorize other people into taking down their content. and they can also threaten them, basically, or create an atmosphere of threat where their personal information is going to be put in the hands of somebody who might have a malicious intent. And it's bullshit. So I understand the arguments about why the DMCA is broken, but don't point those arguments at me, because I've never filed a false DMCA. Every time I filed one, I intended explicitly to take the individual to court. And so I wasn't breaking the rules. If people played by the rules, then the system would work. But people don't, and that's the whole point here. So this whole argument is based on the fact that there's got to be fucking rules. And people here just don't give a fuck about the rules. They don't give a shit about standards of appropriate behavior. They just don't care. They don't see any limits. They can do whatever the fuck they want to play with people. And then, your whole argument about the email threats you got, you're fucking people you're defending here, the free speech people you're defending, they make the same damn threats. I'm gonna fuck you right off the internet, that kind of bullshit. I mean, they're saying all kinds of shit like that on public comment boards even. So, this is the bullshit atmosphere you help create. And then the fact that you're getting attacked by it is probably a deserved irony. Because you endorse this kind of freedom, the freedom to be a fucktard, an asshole, a bastard, a malicious little weasel. And it's bullshit. And it certainly should be part of the system also that people have some capacity to do something about libel. And then, the other part of this equation, though, it becomes the foreigner thing, the different country thing. Because that's really the only effective way to have a system, is YouTube's got to take responsibility for at least allowing people to initiate an action in another country. It shouldn't be the obligation of the person filing a DMCA to figure out how the system works in some foreign fucking country. And they should at least be able to get the lawsuit initiated, at least have that part facilitated. And then they can at least try to make their argument by the definitions of the court they're in. But really should be the provider, the person providing the atmosphere that allows these little terrorists to operate, that they should take some responsibility for the monsters they let loose. So I think that's enough, probably. The other argument I would make, what's the point of having a DMCA when it takes YouTube 10 days to get anything done? They don't even take down the videos right away. They wait 6 or 7 days. The counter notifications aren't delivered for 4 or 5 days. The whole thing is silly. It's stupid. And then YouTube, it doesn't even enforce its own TOS. I mean, you have a partner who broke the TOS rules for partnership. You have people who willfully say they're taking down a video in 3 days just to avert the process, just to subvert it, to corrupt it. That's bullshit. Then you got people deliberately pointing to another location where the same damn video they got DMCA made is located. It's bullshit. But as long as they're going to allow that kind of crap to go on, there's no system. Enough said.